Nowadays, do you not feel that that depth and that breadth of comparison has kind of expanded so much? I feel like before, like you said, that influence would be from your locality. Alongside influence, that also self-comparison to others, I guess, would also be within your locality. I'm assuming you'd compare yourselves essentially to your father, to your mother, to your friends, maybe that boy in class that's doing well. Those would be positive comparisons, whereas now we kind of, without even realizing, subconsciously compare ourselves to thousands of people every day. A simple 5 scrolls takes a few seconds and you'll be comparing yourselves to a celebrity or a random person in the southern hemisphere whilst you're in the northern hemisphere. And it makes me wonder then, this kind of constant exposure that we have to people's lives, is it having an impact on how comfortable we are with our actual selves?
Of course it is. That's a very different but important question. Because in our time, people in our surrounding knew us. Our identity was already kind of inherited and it built over time when we grew up. So we had to align ourselves with our 5 years old self, with our 10 years old self, with our 15 years old self, and then 20 years old self. And then at 25, whatever decisions we will make, so we would know and be mindful of that the surrounding people who know us for those particular times. So we can't abruptly become somebody else at the age of 25 or at the age of 30. Of course, knowledge, experience, understanding would affect and you would change, but you won't completely go berserk and become somebody else. Whereas in today's age, because you have a global audience and of course you have global influence as well, as you have your influence on yourself and what you want to do, and you can idealize anything today, and so as you can become anybody as well. For example, the same 25 years old who had to keep themselves the same way for the surrounding people, but now the same 25 years olds knowing that if my surrounding doesn't accept even this new identity I'm going to create, but the rest of the world will, and there would be of course people of, so that's how it is affecting whichever you want to become, you can become. And also you can take influence from global influencers. And of course that is impacting our personalities because desire has multiplied by 1,000. Because before your exposure was local, you could only desire things what you could see. If somebody has a particular car, or somebody has a certain lifestyle, or they wear certain clothing, they speak in a certain way. So that's what all your exposure was, or from television. Now you scroll through thousands and millions of people you can access to, and that becomes the standard. So you have and especially if people who follow too much, so their standard keeps changing because somebody else would become even more appealing than the previous ones, and somebody else will become more appealing, and that of course create a bit of unpleasant or unkind of fulfilling feeling, because you are 15 or 20, you thought I would love it if I become this kind of whatever role models you had, and normally people followed role models and they became similar people or of that standard people, and they felt satisfied with it. But now people have tens or hundreds of role models online, and then role models keep changing as well because there's so many other people keep coming, and that satisfaction that I have become this, whatever I wanted to achieve, I think that has kind of questioned as well, because your goalposts keep changing because of your access to so many desires and aspirations around the globe.